So I promised a video about making the transition from an internal combustion engine to a Tesla. So what I'm going to do is take you through the one that I purchased and how I do home charging until I have something connected into the garage. So let's start here. So this is the dryer right here, and it's connected right to the garage. So what I've done here is I went down to Home Depot and purchased this 1540 NEMA connector. And since I have basic electrical skills, I've basically taken this and ran it down to the kit that comes with the Tesla. So what you'll do is you'll get one of these pieces, which is a 1540, and you'll notice that it's in a charge cycle right now. So let me go ahead and turn on the light, and we'll follow it down along here, outside, and into the Model 3 long range. So what I can do is just reach over here and press this button right on the top, and that releases it so that I can take it out. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it in for charging. So let me just show you. Press, pull out, and the charge port will close on its own once you open the door. Now, when I want to charge, I just press the button on the top, open, and press in. Once the light turns green, that means that it's in its charge cycle. Now, you'll notice when we come over to the car, I've already unlocked it. So you press the door here and open. So we're inside of the car right now, and I just wanted to show you a few key features. As you'll notice over here, I have the sound on. Just so that I don't get any copyright claims for this video, you'll see that it's playing directly from my phone. I can go to streaming here, and let me just do this for YouTube's sake. I've just pressed this button here for the microphone. Play non-copyright music. So what it'll do, it'll search for that music. It'll bring you the top songs, the albums, artists, podcasts, and stations. So you can do this with whatever music that you enjoy in the first place. So just to show you about that functionality, the streaming service is provided. You'll notice up here that I am connected to my Wi-Fi at the very top. So you have your Bluetooth function here for your phone. Over here, Wi-Fi. And then here is my HomeLink system. On the HomeLink system, into the settings here, you'll notice that I have it set up for auto fold the mirrors, auto open when arriving, and you can reset your location, or you can program your specific garage door opener for whatever you need done with your HomeLink settings. You'll notice here that here's my camera, and the camera is set up to where if I want to record, everything is done on this, which is a 250 gigabyte SSD. And so all I have to do is just press that button and release it, and then I can take it inside and review the footage. I'm going to show you some of that footage now. So moving back into the car, you'll notice up here that it has my name. So you can program whatever you want to do with your steering. If you want to put it into valet mode, you can also do that. And you can go to your driver profile settings, and you can set up a new profile. And you can use easy entry to get into the car as well. So I'm going to delete easy entry. The next thing is your navigation. So if you look here on navigate, let's say I've got a trip coming up here shortly, so I need to go to DeSoto, Texas. And it will automatically look for DeSoto. And let me enter that in here. So we're going to go to DeSoto. So right now it's in its charge cycle. So it's telling me exactly what's going to happen.
Southwest on Independence Boulevard for 1/10 of a mile.
So it'll state that I need to stop at the Cisco supercharger for 15 minutes, and then I'll arrive in DeSoto with around 18%, and my total trip is 182 miles at 2 hours and 54 minutes from my location. So I can remove the charging stops, and I can also navigate on autopilot, so it will not do all the driving for me. I will still have to keep my hands on the wheel, but it shows me exactly what I need to do. So let's say that I need to go to Los Angeles. So I'm going to click on Los Angeles, and it calculates my route, and you can see all the superchargers that I'm going to need to stop at during this time. So it calculates.
Drive southwest on Independence Boulevard for 1/10 of a mile.
You'll notice that I'll have to stop at Sweetwater, Texas, Pecos, Texas, El Paso, Wilcox, Arizona, Casa Grande, Arizona, Indio, California, and then I'll arrive at Los Angeles. You'll also notice here that it tells me exactly how long I will have to charge there. So to my journey at Sweetwater, I'll have to charge for 25 minutes, 40 minutes, and it gives you a total trip, including your stops, at 20 hours and 34 minutes. Now, if you take away those stops, you're probably looking at around 17, 18 hours in a conventional car. You can remove those charging stops, but again, you'll notice from the map here, and I can zoom in and be more specific on exactly where I need to stop and what I need to do there. So let me cancel out on this, and I'll drop down. And this is your supercharger map. It shows you all those superchargers that are near you. It tells you how far away that they're going to be for you to get to your destination. So let's look at the map here so you can see how fluid the screen is. It's utilizing Google Maps, and I can always go back to that specific area. So that kind of shows you about what we're dealing with your navigations. This is Sentry mode. So there's a small little camera icon up here, and I'll show you some Sentry mode footage as well tied into this video. The next thing we're going to look over here is my time remaining on charge. So right now I have 186 miles. That means I can travel 186 miles. And you'll notice here that I am currently charging. So my charge current is at 30 amps, and I can change that to 32 amps. So that's the maximum that cable that I showed you that it charges at. So you'll notice that I'm getting 30 miles per hour on my charge, 32 amps at 244 volts. And you'll notice that I have a slider bar here. So I can take the slider bar and I can change to 100% of the battery, or right now I've got it set around 80%. All the Tesla forums that I've gone to, it's stated that the battery you'll get the most life out of your battery. Again, I have an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the vehicle from Tesla, but you can set your charging to around the 80% mark. On this long trip, before I go to Dallas, I'm going to go ahead and set that slider bar all the way up to 100, charge it up to 100, but I immediately have to hit the road at that specific time. You'll notice at 32 amps, it just jumped to 245 volts that it's charging now. And again, just to reiterate this, 2 hours, 20 minutes. So even if I didn't have any charge in the vehicle, which has happened once, that's around 4.5 hours of charging. And if you get a specific electrical plan, then you can charge this overnight. One of my friends, Susan, she does that. She has free charging through Texas Electric, or TXU, and that's how she basically does her charging. If you click down here, we're going to move, since we've taken care of all the buttons at the top here, and you can see that I've got the frunk opened, and I can actually press here and open up the trunk as well. Now let's look at my usage. So I'm going to go down to this button and you'll see my energy. So you'll notice that my projected right now is 177 miles of range. This being the long range rear wheel drive, I can get instant range or I can get average range. I can get 15 miles and I can see 30 miles. So you'll notice here, whenever you see the spikes, that's when I was pressing on the accelerator and going to 0 to 60, and around 4.3, 4.4 is the best time that I've been able to get this. I just got the 20-inch rims with the high performance summer tires. So as soon as I readjust the V-Box, I'll show those times to back that up. Again, Tesla is very, how should we say, conservative. So when they state on the website that there is a specific type of 0 to 60 time. So we're going to go to the web right now, and you'll notice there's a web bar here, and I'm going to type in Tesla, and we're going to click and go to the site. And here I'm going to custom order. So you'll notice here that there's a standard range. Let me scoot this back in. 32,815. The long range is going to be a dual motor. They do offer this rear wheel drive now, but again, it's just dependent. So you get the Aero wheels, 310 miles of range, 145 miles per hour top speed in 4.4 seconds. And then again, there's the performance model, which is around 48,815. And you can see these are the rims that I have on the vehicle right now. I will get a lowering package somewhere down the line, but we've got a 0 to 60 time in around 3.2 seconds. So you'll see that your purchase price is $54,990, and then after you get your potential savings, which is the tax credit, then that will lower it. So honestly, the best, and again, this is not a sales pitch, but the best buy is going to be the long range for $41,815. Let me go ahead and exit out of here, and let's click on this button right here. And the calendar, you can see your charging. We can bring that back up. The web, which you just saw, and here's the rear camera. You can see that I've got a fan that kind of cools down the vehicle. I've got the 18-inch tires over here, etc. That's just what it looks like in the garage. I can exit out of the camera here, and you can go to your call list, and you can see all the people in your call. And then there's the toy box. So there's a Tesla. Well, let's start over here. There's more cowbell, and there's Rainbow Road. I've got to have more cowbell, so when you're driving, it's just a unique little function. I'll provide a video later on for that. Here we have the whoopee cushion. I can fart on demand. I can use the fart as my turn signal, but I can change up the whoopee cushion to whatever seat. So that's funny. Susan was telling me a story that she forgot that she left it on fart on demand, and yeah. Then you've got the Santa, and we've got the Mars. You can see the little Mars rover here. And again, there's so many videos out there about this stuff, but I wanted to make this a little bit more personal. Then we have the Fire. It automatically turned on the air conditioning. So you got to have things to do when you're sitting at the charging station for 20-40 minutes after you go use the restroom and you're waiting for it. And it'll play a song. So let's go ahead and get out of that. We're going to go back to our regular map. And there's also a toy box here. So we're going to go Beach Buggy 2, and I'm going to click Start and click OK. So I use the actual steering wheel and brake for Beach Buggy 2. And they've just released an option so that you can set up a what do you call it, controllers for this. 2 people can play. So I'm just going to do the 1 player, hit continue, and we're going to go chill because it does go a little bit faster when you get up there. So again, I'm using the steering wheel to turn the car. You don't have to hit the accelerator for safety purposes, but it just goes ahead and goes into full motion here. So I've got my foot on the brake. I'm going to release. The brake makes you go in reverse, and you'll see that I'm actually turning the steering wheel to allow for me to drive the car. Oh, and I can hit the brakes and drive around here, go into the water. And you'll notice that the Tesla is the same color as my car, which is, it's pretty cool. Let me see if I can catch up to some of the guys here. So I'm going to turn the camera here so you can see that I'm actually turning the steering wheel in the car and driving the actual game. So just to show you, let me go ahead and throw on the brakes here, and we'll go ahead and exit out of this. All right, to finish up, we've talked about energy, camera, arcade, toy box, etc. What's really cool is the air conditioning. So it's on auto right now, and I can go ahead and take my finger and adjust the vents wherever I want to. So you'll notice that there is no instrument cluster on the top, but I can adjust the vents. I can put it on all the time, and I can choose dog mode, which if you have an animal, I wouldn't recommend bringing a small child. I don't have any, but you can adjust these vents just by placing your finger on the screen, which is really cool. Let me go ahead and turn off the air conditioning. It's not that hot outside today. The other portion of this is the heat seaters. So every seat has a heater. So I can press here, turn on that back one. I press 3 times, turn it off. If somebody in the center needs seat warmers, I can do that. And there are also air conditioning vents in the back. So when I go here to air conditioning, I can choose either down, up, or I can choose the people in the back. They can get air conditioning as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the air conditioning. You're going to hear the compressor and the fan kind of